Today we're going to work on the distributive property. When we talk about the distributive property, we have to understand some vocabulary. You need to know what the word terms means. Terms are separated by an addition sign or a subtraction sign. You can see over here that terms are being separated along the way by the addition and subtraction sign. Like terms are terms that have the same variable part. So you should notice here that 2x and negative x have the same variable part, but the negative 3x squared does not, so it can't be a like term. We also have coefficients. Those are the numbers in front of a variable. So we're looking at something like the negative 3, the positive 2, or even a negative 1. And the last thing that we have up here is a constant. And a constant has no variable with it. And so therefore we are looking at the term 8. So when we put in our information into our notes here, our terms that we have is a negative x, a positive 8, a negative 3x squared, and is that a positive or is that a negative 2? That's a positive 2x. Got the wrong color going there. We'll make sure that that is right. And we'll make that a 2x. The coefficients, as we were talking about before, are the numbers in front of the variable. So now we have that negative 1 that's in front of the x. We have the negative 3 that's in front of the x squared. And we have the 2 that is in front of the x. Like terms, remember those like terms were the same variable part. So we have terms such as negative x and 2x because they have the same variables to the same powers. There are no other like terms up there. And the last thing that we are going to write down are the constant. Constant has no variable, so all we have is a positive 8. Make sure that is in your notes, please. Let's identify the terms, the like terms, and the coefficients and constants of this example. Why don't you stop the video for just a moment so that you can write down what you think are the terms, coefficient, like terms, and constants, and then start the video up again, and I'll have the answers up there for you. Okay, at this point, you've worked on this. You started the video again. So our terms are 3x, negative 4, negative 6x, and 2. Notice I'm just separating them with commas. If they have a negative sign in front of them, that goes with that term. The coefficient is the 3 and the negative 6. Like terms, we're going to group them together. 3x and negative 6x go together. And then I'm going to put a semicolon and say negative 4 and positive 2 go together. There are two sets of like terms. And our constants have no variables, so negative 4 and 2. We're going to go on to another example. And I want you to, again, stop the video, jot down what the terms, coefficients, like terms, and constants are, and then start the video again. Okay, we are back in here, so we've got 3, 2x squared, negative 4x, can't forget my comma there, and negative 6, or 7x cubed. So there are 4 terms. The coefficients are 2, negative 4, make sure there's a negative sign in front there, and negative 7. I don't like that -4 very well. It's hard to tell what that is. Let's rewrite that. -4, like that. The like terms, well, are there any numbers or any other terms like 3? No. Are there any other terms that have an x squared on them besides the 2x squared? No. Any other terms with just an x? No. Any other terms with just an x cubed? No. So there are no x-like terms. So you can just write the word none there. There are no like terms at all. Constants, there is a 3, and that's the only constant that there is. Okay, let's go on to the next piece here. With the distributive property, you need to be able to multiply everything inside the parentheses by whatever is out front, or I should say outside of the parentheses. So for example, we have 2 times the quantity, x minus 4. You're going to be taking the 2 times the x and the 2 times the -4. So you're going to have 2 times x and then 2 times a -4. Well, we can simplify that a little bit. That becomes 2x minus 8. And 2x minus 8 is as far as we can go. We've combined like terms by just multiplying 2 terms together there. There are no other like terms to add together. So in a nutshell, that's what we're going to be doing here. So let's take a look at this problem. I want you to think about what are you going to do? You're going to multiply that 4 by the x and the 4 times the 3. So I can write that out as 4x plus 4 times 3 if I were writing it out longhand. Hopefully you're starting to do some of this in your head and you're saying, well, that's 4x plus 12. And I would be perfectly fine for you to go from here to here. You do not need to write 4 times 3 for me. If you need to for yourself, that's okay. Let's try the next example. Notice that what's outside the parentheses is on the right-hand side this time. So you're going to be multiplying that -3 times the 5 and -3 times -x. So let's write it out so we can see it. 5 times -3 and -x times -3. Well, this 5 times -3 is -15. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So we're going to have a positive, and x times 3 is the same thing as 3x. I will more than happily take -15 plus 3x. You want to flip it around and make it 3x minus 15. These are the same, and I will accept either answer. Why don't you do this third example? Stop the video for a moment, do this, and come back in. All right, we're taking that -2 times each of these. So -2 times x and a -2 times a positive 7. So it's going to be -2x minus 14. This is as far as we can go. We can't add any more like terms together. When you're simplifying expressions, you want to get rid of the parentheses by using the distributive property and combine any like terms. That's in general what you're thinking that you're going to do. Let's get rid of parentheses by using the distributive property and combine like terms. So here is an example for you. Let's get rid of the box there. I can simplify an expression. This one has a few more things together on it. The 3 and the x, the 3 and the 1 get multiplied together, but the 3 does not get multiplied by the -5x. So we're going to have 3x plus 3, but then I'm going to carry along that minus 5x. At this point, we need to combine like terms. Notice this term and this term are exactly, they are like terms. They have the same variable to the same power. So 3x minus 5x is a negative 2x. Add 3, and this is as far as we can go. We've combined our like terms. Let's try the next one. Get rid of that box as well. There we go. We have the 5 times x, 5 times negative 7, but now please notice that you've got this negative 2 that's times 2x and negative 2 times negative 5. You have 2 distributions to do on this problem. So we're going to have our 5x minus 35, because we have that 5 times negative 7. And then we have negative 2 times positive 2x gives us a negative 4x. And then that negative 2 times negative 5 is a positive 10. Combine your like terms. We have 5x and negative 4x are like terms. So we can add those together and get positive 1x. And then we have the negative 35 and the positive 10 that are like terms. Those are constants. We add them together and we get minus 25. And that will be our expression for our answer. We had 2 distributions to do on that one. Be careful. And our last example, when you have just a negative sign out front, that's like a negative 1 times whatever's inside the parentheses. So negative 1 times 2x, negative 1 times 3. And the other one has a positive 4 times 5 and a positive 4 times a negative 3x. So again, we've got 2 distributions here. So negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times 3 is minus 3. On the other distribution, 4 times 5 is 20, and 4 times a negative 3x is a negative 12x. So now we are looking for our like terms. Negative 2x, negative 12x. They each have an x raised to the first power. Adding them together gives us a negative 14x. You're just adding their coefficients. And then we've got our negative 3 and positive 20 being added together, which is a positive 17. That is our final expression for our answer. If you're having any troubles, please come in and see me. Otherwise, feel free to listen to this again if you so desire. Good luck on your homework.